at Gia's graduation, Teresa was taking pictures with people, being gracious, and Louis was rude as can be, thinking who he was. So here we go.
You heard that from people?
Oh my God. Some guy DM'd me, his boyfriend or whatever was there at the graduation, and he was there. And he asked Teresa for a picture. She said yes. And Louis was downright rude to him and to everyone. That was right from that graduation. I think he's another one who thinks who he is.
Wow. Okay, so we have two bad apples. Who else?
Two bad apples.
Who else's performance you want to talk about?
All right, Jackie, nice girl. She written to you at the GLAAD Awards. Nice girl.
Can I say something about? Can we just talk on that in a minute?
Of course, of course.
Listen. I apologize to Jackie in person. Here's the thing. We'll make a very quick, and I'm back on the Jackie train. Here's the thing. We'll make this a quick story. So I went to the GLAAD Awards Saturday night. I had heard through the rumor mill that Miss Josephs was attending. This is a charity for the gay and lesbian community. It raises money. You are there. So I was like, okay, she's going. You know, I'm sure some of her friends are going. Jackie went. So I was like, listen, as we were entering the GLAAD Awards, I said to my friends, listen, I got to tell you guys something. If Miss Josephs, because I said to Laura, how do you think this is going to go? With 1,000, 1,500 people here, will she, it's a charity. I assume that the animal will be caged for the night. She was like, David, no, she's going to come right up to you and tell you that you're a piece of garbage to your face. I said, okay, Laura, thank you. It's nice because she's 40 years.
No
way. I don't know. I said, this is Laura's advice. So I said, I'm ready. So as we were entering, I said to my friends, listen, I am making you aware of this now. You all have nice desk jobs and 9 to 5 and 9, whatever it is. I understand you are normal, well-adjusted people. There's an animal named Josephs. If she comes up to me, I'm going to have the phone in my hands and I'm going to press record. Now I'm going to hold the phone up.
I love it. I love it.
And everything. Now, when she doesn't let go or she reaches out for my phone, I might scream that I'm calling. This is not, I was really
security.
And I said, you all have complete permission to walk away from me, to pretend you don't know me. Like, I understand. And they're like, we will be absolutely embarrassed. We will be absolutely walking away from you. And we will not pretend that we know you for
at least. Not going to do that.
I said, it's fine. But I was prepared because I'm like, if I'm a
hostage. But she did not do that. And Jackie came up to you. Right. Jackie came up to you and tell everyone what she said. She goes, it's your job, David, and I'm not mad at you. She goes, Tim talks a little shit about me, but that's her job and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, because listen, I was like, I saw Evan at one point. I was like, I don't really want it. I was like, listen, I wasn't really going to engage. I saw Jackie. I was always going to look away. But she gave me that like, oh my God, she came right up to me and she's like,
that's nice.
No, wait. Nice. She hugged me and said, I hate you. And then she looked at me and she said, I love you, but I hate you. And she's like, but I can't stay mad at you. I said, listen, I did apologize. Like, I don't take back anything I said.
Right.
That she's going to be fired. But I said, I'm not looking to like ruin lives. I mean, your friend ruined your life, if anything, because she put it out there about, but I'm just like, she said, yes, she said, this is your job. And I understand. And you know what I think about Jackie before we move on? And I like her. I do.
You always said you liked her. Always said that. You did. You always liked her. She was always nice to you and you always liked her.
She said, you don't really say that bad of things. She's like, Kim's another story.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, but here's the thing about Jack. Listen, you know how and I've been fired from so many jobs. You know how if you're sitting at the desk and someone taps you on the shoulder and says, can you go into HR? And then you go into HR and they're like, you're terminated. And then you get kicked out and you have to leave. You're like, you're feeling bad about yourself. But you know how if you go in and they're like, you're fired, but guess what? We're laying off 30 people today. And then you go outside.
Different story.
And you're on your phone and all your friends come out and you're like, oh my God, this has to, Jackie, I love you. I just said I did. I have to be honest. You weren't coming back. Jackie has to be, she's a human being. She has to be happy about the pause. She has to be.
Of course.
She has to be, because she was so happy. And she was like, I'm not going to let housewives define my life. And I mean, okay, well, I understand why you're saying that because it really is over for you. No offense. But here's the thing about Jackie. I want to say one thing before I move on. She's going to be like a Kathy Wakili. She's going to move on with her life for real. She's not going to be talking about this.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Okay.
Okay. So now, Okay, now Fuda, basically insignificant, really didn't bring much to the table last night.
Let's talk about what you told me about Fuda off air.
Well, yeah, first of all, I was a little surprised when I saw that the adoption went through, because what I had heard was Bravo, because this adoption thing was a storyline, okay, that they had to reach out to the wife. I mean, not the wife, I'm sorry, the baby mama. They reached out to her. And it did cause some problems for the Fudas, you know, like the mother getting involved and all that. Everyone knows I was very specific last week how I feel about a mother who basically loses her kid over drugs and whatever. But now I hear that she is out of jail. She is out of jail. And it caused some issues for the Fudas. I was a little surprised when I saw that the adoption went through. I didn't know that. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't know that. I didn't hear that from my source. But I know that Bravo had to reach out to the mother because, you know, this is a legal situation.
Legally, I think you have to, before you start airing things.
Yeah, they reached out.
So look at that.
And it caused some friction with the Fudas. It did cause some friction. But I did hear, like, we're not talking about the little boy, the 16-year-old. I did hear that we were like, oh my God, how can they make this a storyline? I heard he has no problem with the drama. He loves the show. So it's not like they used him and he's all upset about it. He likes the show. He doesn't mind the drama. And Fuda did, you know, Rachel did raise him, you know, not since a little boy, but since he was a young kid, you know, the mother, John Fuda's mother helped out a lot. John lived with the mother. But yeah, I heard it didn't affect him. Like, I was concerned that he'd be embarrassed over this, that they're using, that's not the case. So I'm happy to report that. It wasn't the case that he was embarrassed or they were using him for a storyline. That wasn't the case. He has no problem with it and he likes the show. So with that said, you know, I always worry about what they're going to do to their kids, you know.
He should call if Fuda's back, because listen, with the pause, there's a lot. I mean, the last time we had a pause, everyone got fired. I mean, that's not going to happen here, but he should call Frankie Jr. and get advice on, you know, over the next 5 years as you grew up on the show, what to expect. And but look at that. That's an example of Rachel Fuda. I think Rachel Fuda had a great first season. I give her like a B+ almost on her first season. You know, she did maybe even an A-. She did, but you know, Rachel Fuda, just it's a caution. You had Kim D and I revealing the tile before you were even on the show.
Absolutely.
This could have caused a real problem in your real life. For your son that you love. Like, it all ended well, Rachel Fuda, but just be cautious that this show, you know, this ain't a joke with the real life of what this show does.
Definitely not. Okay, let's see. We did Fessler, we did Fuda. Why don't we do, I want to save Louis. I wanted to save Louis for the end. Why don't we do
Jen Aiden?
Jen Aiden. Let's do Jen Aiden. What do you think of Jen Aiden? I think she's hysterical. She's always in for a good time. Okay. But once again, Jen, you let Margaret get to you. When she said he had an affair with a subordinate. Now, the first thing she